This is INCRadio DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello.
Hola!
Bonjour.
Konnichiwa.
Ni hao.
Ciao!
Annyeonghaseyo.
Mabuhay!
Welcome to Washington State.
Explore the sights. Discover new things.
Appreciate the arts, music, and food.
Travel to new places.
Meet the people.
Make new friends.
In other words, come home with us.
Come home with us.
This is INCRadio Seattle, Washington.
Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of our listeners and viewers all around the world. My name is Brother Joshua Weber from the local congregation of Everett, here in the sometimes sunny, today fairly cloudy district of Washington State. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Now, today we will be talking about something that is fairly important. And of course, like I love to mention, here in our satellite, we love talking about food. So, what better than instead of just talking about food, but talking about a specific skill set within food being healthy cooking? All right. And joining us today for our topic will be Brother Hayden Garcia. So without further ado, Brother Hayden, go ahead and introduce yourself and give any shout outs if you have any at this time.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brother Hayden from the locale of Seattle. Shout outs to Bremerton and my locale, Seattle.
All right. Thank you so much, Brother Hayden. All right. Before we get into our topic today, I have our YouTube question of the day, of course, and that is, what is your go-to healthy snack? One more time. What is your go-to healthy snack? Personally, I love a little bit of celery and peanut butter. I know that is a very easy snack to do, and of course, it's very delicious as well. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and start with our discussion today being healthy cooking. So, Brother Hayden, what is it that got you into cooking?
Well, it's mostly because of my parents. Growing up, I see my parents helping each other in the kitchen. And then, as kids, we like to copy others, right? We mind our other people. We mind most especially our parents. And I love my parents' cooking too. Like it's comfort food. So to be able to spend time with my parents as well as learning the food that they cook. And I'm always surrounded with food because there's like parties and hangouts, any form of events or activities. There's always food with you, that you're always surrounded with food. And my food palette is big, so I'm not a picky eater, right? I love food. I love to discover new foods, different cuisines, just eating good food. Growing up, I also like watching cooking shows, watching the TV, and sometimes saying, "Mom, can we cook this?"
I know the feeling. If not myself, my grandma loves doing that for my mom, where it doesn't matter what they're watching, they just see something and they're immediately like, "That's a great idea. We should make that," or "We should make it this way," or "We should try doing it this way," but still making that kind of that food that they just saw. Now, I know, of course, our topic today is healthy cooking. And of course, not all the foods that we make can be considered healthy. So, in your opinion, Brother Hayden, why is cooking healthy important?
Well, you know what's going into your meal, right? We get to control what we eat, what we consume. We could also take care of our bodies, and we could meet our nutritional needs and good goals. And we could also manage our eating habits and our weight, our health, and we could meet certain food groups or goals. And it will also prevent us from developing any illnesses and help us have a balanced plate.
So, on the topic of healthy cooking, how is it that you make cooking healthy? Are there certain like substitutions that you would make or alternatives for healthier options?
Yes, there are a lot. For example, instead of, deep frying, you could use an air fryer. Instead of vegetable or canola oil, you could use olive oil or avocado oil. And instead of, use less salt. There's this seasoning called Dash seasoning blend. It's it's seasoning blend with no salt. And you could also use herbs and spices. And you could also avoid processed food. And us Filipinos, Asians, right? We love our rice, white rice. It goes well with everything. For me, I like eating rice, I eat rice, you know, breakfast, lunch, dinner. But instead of white rice, we could switch it to brown rice.
And I know there's quite a few of us who can also agree with that. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, everything's rice. Anything can be eaten with rice. But not we're not oh, excuse me. I'd also like to mention we're not sponsored by the Dash seasoning, but I do agree with you. That has been also something that was brought up to me as well. It's a great salt alternative because it has a lot of that flavor in there without the need of salt. So, I'd like to ask Brother Hayden, how often do you try to cook a little bit on the healthier side for your dishes?
I try to cook as much as I can, healthy dishes. I'm in school right now and have a lot of projects and there's a lot of church activities. So I cannot really cook as much as I want to, but I cook twice a week, if not once a week.
All right. And so, since you don't have that much time, is there a go-to kind of like quick dish that you would make or anything like that?
I just make myself a fruit bowl with mix of fruits, sometimes add some vegetables in it.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good. So, on the other hand, what is kind of like if you had enough time to kind of just do whatever you wanted, what is your favorite dish that you like to make?
I like to make it's a vegetable Ilocano dish called pinakbet. But I mostly make it with my parents as they have the secret step to the process. Like I like their flavor.
And I know I saw Brother Andrew react. He was pretty happy when Brother Hayden said pinakbet. But and also like what Brother Hayden mentioned, every family has that one secret step that makes the food unique to their little secret family recipe. And I know my family has those as well. So, Brother Hayden, I know you're busy with school, and you try to cook as often as you can. So, I'd like to also ask, how has cooking kind of helped you become more resilient, like better eating habits or controlling your diet, stuff like that. So, what are the ways like cooking has helped you in that way?
It helps me to not be tempted to eat outside or eat those like junk food, like fast food, right? But it helps me to cook at home, spend less money, save that money for, like those expensive food to cook at home, right? Because ingredients, you need good quality ingredients to make that special dish. You don't have to be, you have to give it your all when it comes to those foods. And you can also you can control the ingredients that you can put into your food as well. You know what's in your food. So like for example, if you have allergies, you know that food won't have any allergies.
That's perfect. Um, I'd like to also ask, because I know you mentioned, one of the reasons why you got into cooking was cooking, or your family, your parents have been cooking. So I'd like to ask also, like, what's your favorite memory of cooking, if you have one? I know it can be a little hard to think of right off top of the right on top of the spot, but like, if there was like something that like really inspired you, especially like when cooking with your parents, like a specific moment. Do you have one of those?
When cooking for big special events, there's it's a big menu that we're cooking. So I'm I like to help with my parents and like get those like pointers on doing this, how, when should I do this?
That's perfect. I know. It's just that family bonding and being able to spend that time with one another, and especially because you're sharing and you're bonding over food, which will then be shared with other people, which then is just a great time overall. That's what makes healthy. That's what makes cooking so just so fun. So, Brother Hayden, I'd like to also ask, what are some of the what are some easy changes to make for those starting to try to cook healthier?
You could aim to add more vegetables to your dishes. You could also choose more whole grains, right? And try to limit your added sugars, cook with less salt. And instead of deep frying, you should rather opt for steaming, baking, and grilling, as those methods of cooking won't remove the nutrients away from your foods. And it could also help you have proper portions to your foods.
Yeah, and that's it. It goes beyond just like with the ingredients, right? Like when you cook from home and you're cooking for yourself, you're able to control those kind of things. And of course, in that way, it'll also make it a lot healthier for you. Um, let's see here. Um, we have a few YouTube comments here from Sister Candice Mells. Healthy snacks for me are vegetables, smoothies. From hashtag Tacoma, 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 or hashtag Tacoma. So, what about you, Brother Hayden? Do you make any like smoothies or anything like that?
The last time I remembered making a smoothie was a banana smoothie.
That sounds pretty good. Do you remember what you put in the banana smoothie other than, well, obviously bananas?
I believe I put this packet, banana mix packet, and some milk and ice to it.
Well, there you go. Sometimes it's just that simple, right? And of course, I know a lot of common mix-ins for smoothies would be other vegetables. I know carrots are pretty. Oh, and I'm thinking of juicing. You would juice carrots. I don't know so much about blending them into a drink, but of course you can. You can always try that. It's always a fun thing to try. Here we have from Brother Andrew Wine. Let's see, drink almond milk instead of cow's milk for a healthy alternative. There we go. We actually also have a birthday greeting here from Brother G. Villanueva. Happy birthday po to Brother Jojo Alcantara, hashtag Shoreline. Let's see. And then, of course, we have some happy viewing from High Point in the Ecclesiastical District of hashtag Virginia. There we go. Hi to all the brethren over there. Thank you for watching, of course, Brother Andrew. Of course, Brother Andrew Wine over here rather than Brother Andrew Santa Monica, who is, of course, waiting for us here. So before we finish off our topic for here today, Brother Hayden, are there any kind of additional tips or tricks that you'd like to share for those who are just starting to either get into healthy cooking or just cooking in general? Like, what are a few little quick tips just to get started?
Some quick tips is changing the oils that you use. You could use more herbs and spices instead of those, what they call MSG and stuff.
I couldn't help but laugh a little bit because of the MSG. I know my family loves, or when my grandma was cooking before, she'd love to add that MSG, and of course that's where a lot of the flavor comes from. But yes, definitely finding some of those alternatives for those flavors. So thank you once again, Brother Hayden, for joining us. I had a wonderful time, and I know a lot of our viewers here were also enjoying our topic today on healthy cooking. So thank you once again for joining us. And with that, we're going to go to our next segment with Brother Andrew, which is our CFO in action. So without further ado, Brother Andrew, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Brother Josh. This is me, Brother Andrew Santa Monica, from the local congregation of Seattle, here to give you our CFO in action. Before I go over the upcoming activity, we would like to talk about past activities in the District of Washington State to have a good recap. It's always good to go back and reflect. So on Sunday, October 13th, so last Sunday, we had a district family bowling in Kenmore Lanes at 5 p.m. For sure, there's a lot of those who kept their victory streak, so they were able to keep going and show to the youth that they are definitely kings in bowling. On Friday, October 18th, last night, there was a district viewing of Guerrero Tres. This was held in different local congregations. Such a great movie. I would recommend watching the Guerrero movies because it's produced with a very strong message about faith. But we'll go ahead and talk about the future activity. Tomorrow in the local of Seattle, there will be a Care for Humanity. This is an activity where we give out various goods like healthy foods, canned goods to the community. This will be in local Seattle, so in the Seattle Chapel Function Hall. Tomorrow, that will happen at 5 p.m. We'd love to see you there. And all the more, in all of these activities, let's continue to reach out to our beloved guests, friends, family, loved ones, so we can experience amazing activities from the Church of Christ, from the many brothers and sisters with various talents, such as cooking. Brother Hayden, I remember 5 years ago of the CWS, or Children's Worship Service, cooking activity. I believe you are still CWS, brother. But without further ado, that's all I have for our CFO in action. Back to you, Brother Josh.
All right. Thank you, Brother Andrew. Now we're going to go into our Hidden Treasure segment. So, Kuyatek, if you could pull that up, please. Thank you so much, bro.
Hello, everyone, tuning in to INCRadio Seattle. My name is Sister Kate, and today we're traveling north of Seattle all the way to the base of Mount Pilchuck to visit one of my favorite hikes. Heather Lake Trail is a beginner to intermediate friendly hike. The trail is located east of Granite Falls. It's a popular hike because of its amazing scenic views. You can also bring your furry friend along since it's a dog-friendly hike as well. The lake is located at the very top of the hike. During the summertime, it's very popular for those who want to swim or even fish. The trail is a mix of old and new growth with rocky terrain and a slight elevation as you make your way to the top of the trail. It takes 3 hours to finish in total, with a round trip of about 5 miles. So the next time you're thinking of finding a place to hike, visit Heather Lake Trail. This has been Sister Kate from INCRadio Seattle. See you next time.
All right, and thank you, Sister Kate, for that hidden treasures. Of course, it wouldn't be an episode here, or a broadcast here in our satellite of Seattle, without talking about food and hiking. I just realized that as the cliffhanger, or not cliffhanger, the hidden treasure was going through. I was like, oh, hiking, food and hiking, another staple of our satellite here. But with that, our time passes by so quickly here. We're already coming to the close of our broadcast for today. So with that, we'd like to, before we go, give, of course, our cliffhanger statement here. Of course, and that's just a reminder for us to go ahead and be sure to watch and join us next week as we do a local spotlight. For those who have been longtime watchers of our satellite here, you may remember doing local spotlights before, but for our episode next week, it will be the main focus of our episode. So don't forget to join next week as we do a local spotlight featuring the local of Oak Harbor. So be sure to tune in next week as we go ahead and talk about that. And with that, we'd like to say our special thank yous and shout outs to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, Brother Angelo Manalo, our SEBC President and CFO Coordinator, Brother Ramil Regino, our District Minister, Brother Relly Rivera, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Chris Valdez, our CFO Overseer, Brother Manly Andaya, our Executive Producer, of course, the listeners, and last but definitely not the least, the INC Radio Tech crew. Thank you all so much for your love and support, and none of this would be possible without each and every single one of you. So, from INC Radio Seattle, we will see you later.